how does it go? It goes like, I love that chord, wow. I hadn't heard it in a while. Ooh, but it is still a new chord for me. Hey, and welcome to the floor of my living room. This is where I feel probably the most safe in the entire world. So if it calls to you at any point, get on the floor. If it calls to you right now, get on the floor right now. Unless you're perfectly comfortable where you are, in which case you live your truth. But right here is mine. Which also, on the topic of feeling safe, I do just want to say a quick thank you to the people of YouTube, the people who watch my YouTubes, for keeping this platform sort of like the most comfortable place for me to post and be myself. The internet has been scary lately, but luckily it has kind of like forced me to really think about like the things that I want to share and like what feels like the most me to like make and put out there. And if you've seen my videos before, you'll know I love Taylor Swift's music. I love doing the album reactions. That was something that I was really encouraged to do by the people of YouTube. Yeah, I was really encouraged by you guys to do the album reactions, and I've had such a nice response that I just kind of kept doing them. But something that I was, or have been really thinking about is how my first response is never really, I feel like the full thing that I end up feeling or thinking about the songs. I don't know if I ever reached that place of being like, yeah, that's what I think. I'm just so the kind of person to play the same song over and over and over again, and Taylor's music is so just beautifully written that for me at least there's always something new to sort of make of it. You know what I mean? So I thought, instead of, because I've sat down and tried to do a whole like recap of what I think about the album, but honestly I don't have another long sit like that in me until the next album, so I thought I would just not make it this big thing that's so big that I just don't ever do it. And I was like, hey, you can take it song by song if you want to. And so the song that I've been really fixated on recently is, if you didn't guess it already, I am still learning the song. It might not have sounded right, and it will not sound completely right. This is not a cover video. I'm just going to be playing some of it so that I can monetize this video. What's the point in not being honest with you? I don't want to use her tracks, but I do highly encourage, because we're going to be getting into Guilty as Sin, if you want to listen along to it, or if you want to, like I did, just put your headphones in and really immerse, right now is the time to do it. Like if you want to pause and just like really get into it, then feel free to do that on the floor if that's where you ended up. I'm excited. I really love talking about this stuff with you guys, because you guys get it. It's hard being it's hard pretending to be normal when you're a Taylor Swift fan, because I like lyrics. I like unpacking them. So again, thanks for giving me a you know, as safe as the internet can be, a safe place to do that. So opening line is, shall I try and do it? Yeah, I can try and do it, but like I said, this is not a cover. Oh, why am I so nervous? My heart's thumping. Ugh. Okay. Drowning in the blue Nile, he sent me downtown lights. I hadn't heard it in a while. Okay, so right away we have a reference to, which I had to look up. It's a reference to a song called Downtown Lights by the band or the artist. See, I don't know. And I'll tell you why that doesn't matter to me in just 1 second. It's a reference to a song, which to me doesn't matter because I feel like it could be a reference to anything, right? The whole point is that someone who, if they sent you a song, you would sit and drown in it, sent you a song. You know what I mean? We've all been there, you know, when you have like a crush on someone, you know, people can be really indirect these days. Maybe they put it on their Instagram story, but in this beautiful, perfect world, they sent it right to you. And I love that as the opening line because I think it just really sets us up for like drowning in the Blue Nile. It's like, I am not just listening to the song you sent me, I'm drowning in the fact that you sent it to me. I'm immersing, I'm picking apart the lyrics to like find maybe how you feel about me. Why did you think of me? Why did you send me this song? Just beautiful, beautiful scene setting opening line. And that little, I hadn't heard it in a while. I'm like, that's so casual to say right after you said that you're drowning in it. Also, I just want to take a second to say, all of this is my interpretation. These are the thoughts that I have when I'm like on the elliptical or in my own world, like walking down a street. I'm not trying to interpret it exactly how, you know, she wrote it. No one's ever gonna be in her head, which for me is like the fun of it. And I think she said that before, where she's like, I want these to become songs like about your life. And I said, bet. And then we have, which I fucking love, my boredom's bone deep, this cage was once just fine. My boredom's bone deep, this cage was once just fine. Like, oh my god, I have too much to say about this. Like, even the idea that you could become even more fixated on a crush just because of whatever situation you're in being like kind of fucking boring, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, and we can like take Taylor's life as a sort of like loose example because it's the one we're probably all most familiar with, but how fucking boring must it be to sort of have to like restrain yourself, like not be seen doing certain things or be seen with certain people? That's fucking bone deep boredom. And that's such a like visceral lyric to me. I'm like, my boredom is bone deep. And you know what? Like, this cage was once just fine, but now I want someone. Now I have a crush on someone. Like, this cage used to be okay with me. Like, I kind of got used to whatever, you know, forced solitude or in hiding I was in. But like, now the cage feels like a cage. Are we following? Are we liking that? And then, am I allowed to cry? To ask, am I allowed to cry? For me, that can be interpreted in so many ways. It's like, I picture it as asking myself because maybe I've been told too many times that the reason I'm upset or heartbroken or bored or just like whatever's making me cry, like, oh, like you're crying about that? Like you kind of have like a weird reaction to, you know, your feelings, which never feels good. And then that voice from the outside people kind of like turns into your own voice in your head, right? Like when you get told so many times that like your reason for crying like isn't a good enough reason, like eventually that turns into like you catching yourself in those moments and being like, wait, am I allowed to cry? Like, am I allowed to cry? Is this okay? And it's another great setup because what we're gonna go into, I'm assuming you've listened to Guilty as Sin and you already kind of have an idea of what it's about, but when it's all only in your head and nothing has actually happened yet, but you're getting so worked up about it, like you do have that moment of catching yourself and being like, wait, am I allowed to feel this way? Am I allowed to be upset? Am I allowed to cry? I love that line. I dream of cracking locks, throwing my life to the wolves. I shouldn't have stopped there. This is what people complain about with my album reactions, is that I pause too much. But for me, every line is just so rich. If you look at my comment section, it's like, girls, stop pausing, like listen to the whole thing. And I'm like, I cannot. I'm on the elliptical, rewinding like 5-second parts of the song just because I'm like fixated on the line, but I don't have to over-explain myself here because this is my house and this is my internet house and I'm very happy to have you here, but oh my god, please be nice to me. And am I allowed to cry? I dream of cracking locks, throwing my life to the wolves or the ocean rocks, crashing into him tonight. Okay, so I dream of cracking locks. Like already we have like a reference to this metaphorical cage that we're in, right? Where are we now? And I dream of cracking those locks, like to be fucking bored in your cage and the only thing you can fantasize about is what it would be like to fucking crack the lock, escape, and then that tumbles into what that would mean for you. Throwing my life to the wolves, like already another incredible setting of the scene. Like, this is a high risk situation. The cost is, even if only in my head, seemingly very pricey. It's a high cost. Throwing my life to the wolves, it's like if I do what I want, I'm essentially almost like asking to be eaten alive for it. And then again with or the ocean rocks, like I dream of cracking locks, throwing my life to the wolves, or the ocean rocks. It's just like I'm going to fantasize about self-sabotaging in multiple different ways because I want to crash into him tonight, you know? He's a paradox, I'm seeing visions. Am I bad or mad or wise? Ah! Okay, so he's a paradox, right? Okay, do we know what a paradox is? It's like a thing with conflicting ideas, and now I'm gonna, you know when you can use a word in a sentence and you can understand a word in a sentence, but when someone asks you what it means, you're like, let me fucking check myself real quick. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition. Like, maybe this person is a paradox because of the fucking absolute shit your life would turn to if you had him, or if you went for it, but in your brain it would also be absolute bliss, absolute heaven. You know what I mean? And I love how evocative the I'm seeing visions, am I bad or mad or wise? Like, I don't know about y'all, but this is something I ask people so much. I'm like, how do y'all think? How do you experience being inside a human brain? Because for me, I swear I like see in full-blown pictures. Like when I listen to music, I almost like see it like it's a movie. And I know that feeling of like when you cannot stop thinking about somebody and it all just feels like kind of like you have no choice in it. It's like I'm seeing visions. Like, am I mad? Like, am I out of my mind here? Like, or am I bad? Am I bad for thinking those things? Like, do I have more control over it than I feel like at this moment? Like, is it bad? Is it bad, these visions? And I love the shift into or wise. Like, am I actually a prophetic genius? Am I actually a psychic? Have I actually picked up on real clues that I swear are really there that led me to this very wise conclusion? I just love, when I say evocative, I'm like, it's just a fucking perfect way to be like describing what having a crush is like the visions and just the like, am I insane or am I like, should I feel bad about this or like, am I actually onto something? You know? I love this song. Okay, drink every time I say that. Don't, you'll die. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? Oh, how does she do that? Mind. It's hard to sing. I You see how I can get fixated on one song for way too long? Like the hairs on my arms are standing up. I'm like a beauty YouTuber, like this is my lip balm. No, this is my sword. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? A, sexy. A, sexy. And B, sexy. Oh, it's just, I like which is something she just does so beautifully. It's like the what if of it all. Like, hey, cardigan reference. Knew you'd haunt all of my what ifs. Like, I feel like that's such a theme through a lot of her music, is just like what's going on inside her head, which then turns into what's going on inside my head, and I feel less insane because she put it into words for me. But I love that this song is so like the what if of it all. Like, incredible fucking way to start a chorus. Like, what if all of this, like take verse 1, right? What if all of this fretting and tossing and turning and visions are just for fucking nothing? What if he only wants me back in my head? what then? Also, like, what if he's written mine? Like, that's a real inkling to have. It's not just like, oh, I think this person like might have a crush on me too. It's like, no, this person wants me. Mine. And the on my upper thigh, sexy. The song is sultry. The song is so steamy to me. And then obviously the only in my mind, like, how do the chords go? Come on. One slip and falling. One slip and falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. How does she sing that? Anyway, I have goosebumps again. One slip, I'm falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. Like, one misstep, like, it's all such a careful game, right? It's like, I could actually think myself into a hole. I could take one step and then whoop, I have slipped back into the hedge maze. And in my head, the hedge maze is just kind of like the mess of it all. You know what I mean? The confusing, undefinitive, like, I'm sorry, but like crushes. It's like no one's actually laid anything on the table. The hedge maze is just this like, like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know? And that's also what I love about this song is it's like, what if I'm doing this to my fucking self? What if it's my fault? Like, it's on me to not slip back into that fucking hedge maze, right? But then, like, all hedge mazes considered, like, all mess, turmoil, chaos in mind, what a way to die. I could cry. Like, I could cry. I love it. I love her music. I love how she writes. Like, what a way to die. Like, girl, the thing you just described sounds awful, but that is what having a crush is like. It's what having a crush is like. It's like, I see you, chaos and fucking driving myself mad. What a way to die. Honestly though, the Eras Tour dive, like, what a way to die. Because nothing feels worse, but at the same time, nothing feels better. So, fuck it. Back into the hedge maze. We slip. Can't talk, too excited. I keep recalling things we never did. I'm doing it again where I pause too soon, but I just have too much to say. Dude, she just finds such a succinct, beautiful way to sum up, to me, what I imagine, I hope, please, 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 are like very universal experiences. Like having a crush and just, you know, the make-believe scenarios that come with the territory of wanting someone. And it's like, I keep recalling things we never did. We didn't do those things, but it's like honestly, once you get into like a good rhythm with your make-believe scenarios, you can kind of just like a jukebox, like pick one like as you're trying to fall asleep. And it's like, then they'll just start like coming at you at times you don't expect. Like, I keep recalling things we never did. And it's all just so good with the theme of feeling like, am I mad? Am I insane for all of this? The short answer is definitely yes, but what a way to die, you know? Messy top lip kiss, how I long for our tryst. Like, that's so specific. Like everything that I just said, like the jukebox, you have very specific make-believe scenarios that will just like creep up on you out of nowhere. Messy top lip kiss, that's such a specific, it's such a specific vision to have occurring. And then immediately, how I long for our trysts. Also, I love the word trysts, but I will never forget when it was the Wordle word of the day and it had like no fucking vowels. I know that some people consider Y to be a vowel, which like, sure, medium vowel, but I was pissed! But we love the word tryst. Oh, rhymed. And at this point, it's like, you're just stating the obvious, right? Like how I long for our tryst. It's like, you think? It's also rich. It's also there. But again, just like summing it up so beautifully, how I long for our trysts. Duh. Obviously. I fucking love it. Without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin? Sorry, it is a new chord for me, but I like it. I love that I keep saying like the narrator, like we know it's Taylor Swift, but like I do kind of remove the her of it all because in my head it's about me, but right now we're we. So in our heads, I just like how much guilt there is already so far, but then you're still trying to like justify it, right? It's that like battle of like, I feel this way. Oh my God, should I not feel this way? Actually, you know what? No, I didn't touch him, so how can I be guilty? Like, right? But that exact sort of like, right? Like, please, like, it's like you're just trying to like, what's the words I'm looking for? Maybe someone along this journey has like, you know, made you feel bad for the particular crush you have, like, or maybe the situation is messy and you just feel really fucking bad about it. So you just come back to, nope, without ever touching his skin, like, how can I be guilty? Like, maybe I shouldn't feel this guilty. Maybe it's all fine. But then we lead into, I love her. I keep these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault. Okay, so we do feel guilty. Like, the longings are kept locked inside a vault because I can't tell anyone. That would make me guilty, right? Yep. Throw away the key. You know, unless you want me back. Unless you actually did write mine on my upper thigh and it's not all in my mind. You know? Also, like, I know that there's a lot of speculation about why she said, like, in lowercase inside a vault. I'm gonna be really honest with you. What I do pick up on Easter egg wise is because I like accidentally saw it like on my feed and I'm interested, but like I'm not interested in the songs really being much more than like what I think about them. Clearly. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing all this. The way that I interpret like lowercase inside a vault, it's just like I have to keep them small. Like nothing here is real, so it all just has to be like little and locked away. Like I'm gonna be real quiet about it. I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Lowercase inside the vault. And then this is maybe my favorite line in the entire thing. Let's go. Someone told me there's no such thing as bad thoughts. Only your actions talk. I think that's my favorite line in this whole song. The way that I picture this is like the moment where you finally let someone you trust in and you're like confessing to them and you're like, hey, I've been having like these thoughts and I'm feeling really bad about them. Like, because we all reach that point, right? Where we cannot live with like our own judgments. Like we cannot live with just the voice in our own head. Am I bad? Am I mad? Am I wise? Like it all just gets a bit too much. Eventually you've got to like have a little confidant. And I love the idea of like whoever you tell, because this is clearly someone that cares about you. If you're gonna like confess like feeling really guilty about something and they just kind of like, hey, like there's no such thing as bad thoughts. Only your actions talk. Which in one way with like the guilt and the reeling of it all is freeing, but we got another lock right back on it because it's like only your actions talk. So like, hey, you haven't done anything. Like there's no such thing as bad thoughts. Like, but like maybe don't fuck that guy. But as someone who has, now we're delving into Niamh lore, as someone who has an extremely like guilty conscience, and I think very, very much about like how my actions impact people. I feel very beholden to my extremely strict sort of moral compass. And even though logically I've like reasoned with like there's no such thing as like a fully like good person, right? Like everybody has good and bad in them. Like we all fuck up, we all do bad things. I think your intention is what matters. Like logically that makes sense to me, but I do struggle with just like feeling like I'm a bad person because of things I think sometimes, you know? So I love those lines. Love those lines. I feel like this is a good time to like start a conversation about this. Like, I can only ever remember being this way. Like, I've always been very concerned with like the idea of being a good person. Like, I want to be a good person. And something that's always made me feel better is I'm like, oh, like, I wouldn't give a fuck about that. I wouldn't be thinking that if I wasn't a good person. You know? Or, you know, as good as like people can be. I can hear people on my floor, so I'm gonna take a moment. I get really shy when I hear people in the hallway. Like, I know that I'm literally gonna post this on the internet for a question mark amount of people to see, but I don't want people, like my neighbors, hearing me. That's it. She's a paradox. See, I can use it in a sentence. Where were we? We were at our second pre-chorus, which I love because, wow, this drama queen. This makes me feel seen as an insane girl. Like, it is dramatic like this. We got these fatal fantasies, giving way to labor breath, taking all of me. We've already done it in my head. And I'm pausing again. These fatal fantasies, like they're not risk-free, they're fatal. Like they're that, I'm also a big sucker for alliteration in music. Like I love these fatal fantasies. It just does it for me. Giving way to labored breath. Like, again, just the whole theme of the song, it's like, what if it's only in my mind, but the effects of it are really, really, really fucking real? Like, they're only fake scenarios, but now I'm heaving. Now I'm you know? Hopefully, you know. Please make me feel seen as an insane girl, please. Taking all of me, we've already done it in my head. It's taking all of me because it feels that real to me. As somebody who has a vivid and fucking annoyingly restless imagination, I get this. I feel this on a spiritual level. Like, I've basically already committed the crime, right? Like, if this is something I'm feeling guilty about fantasizing about, it's real enough that I'm gonna feel bad about it. Like, it feels like I've already done the bad thing. And wait, let's get to it before I start. Don't you start now, okay. If it's make-believe, why does it feel like a vow we'll both uphold somehow? Oh, like, this is such a real... This song is incredible. I keep saying we've all been there, but, you know, I don't fucking talk about this stuff with anyone. Except, I guess, now you guys. But when it's all in your head, but, like, you're so able to convince yourself that it's real, that it feels like a fucking promise. Like, I've collected enough data between you and I that now this feels like a vow, and we're both going to uphold it, right? Like, tell me I'm not crazy, tell me I'm not crazy, tell me I'm not crazy. Like, we're both going to uphold the vow. Correct? I hear people again. Anyway, there's a baby in the hallway now. She's like, all the time. I think it's really cute. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? One slip I'm falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. My bed sheets are ablaze. I screamed his name, building up like waves, crashing over my grave. With that, sorry, new chord, but I can talk about it anyway. So, you know, this video is not made for kids, and I do click that when I post these videos, so I'm just gonna tell you what I actually think about these lines. I think it is the most poetic way to say, like, my bed sheets are ablaze, I screamed his name. You're by yourself. Girly, like, you're by yourself and you're having some fatal fantasies about someone, and you know what? Your bed sheets are ablaze. Like, I think this is the sexiest, most poetic way to say that you're touching yourself, you know? To the idea of someone, like, building up like waves crashing over my grave. And again, we're right back to like, and this is bad for me. Like, it's building up like waves and now I feel bad again because it's not real. At least that's how I interpret it. Very sexy, very poetic. And then again, without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin? Like, I love the idea of that being like a self-soothing thing you say, like, and also potentially like a defense to anyone that might ask. Because, you know, when you've had the idea about, like, in your head what is, like, the bad thing so much, like, you do kind of, like, build up a defense for it, right? You're like, in case anyone asks, like, I'm not guilty of sin because I never touched him. You see why I, like, listen to the same song over and over and over and over and over again? Yeah. What if I roll the stone away? They're gonna crucify me anyway. What if I bring these fatal fantasies to life, right? I'm not gonna lie, I do know that is like a Jesus reference. If you know more than I do, please feel free to start that discussion. I love learning about y'all's interpretations too. I love when someone else can, like, give me new content up here. Yes, tell me about the ways that you interpret it with the knowledge that you have, but I don't really have any Jesus knowledge, but I understand that this is a biblical reference. That's not how I'm gonna explain it, because it's not what I know about. But, like, so what if I, like, shed light on this thing? So what if I come out of hiding? So what if I, like, break the locks off of my cage? Like, they're gonna crucify me anyway. Like, it's all gonna go bad for me no matter what. So, like, fuck it. Especially when we consider that the next line is, what if the way you hold me is actually what's holy? Like, what if all of this, like, being a good person, like, keeping good, like, staying in my cage, like, isn't shit compared to what's actually holy, which is, like, being with you? What if I'm driving myself to madness, like, trying to do the right thing, but, like, maybe what I should do is just what, like, feels right? I could cry. Oh, and I love freaking out. This is just me freaking out for, like, I don't know how long this video will be. I've been filming for, like, half an hour. If long-suffering propriety is what they want from me, they don't know how you've haunted me so stunningly. I choose... Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I don't fucking know that chord and it's not the point. If long-suffering propriety is what they want from me, I just have to take this moment to talk about the fucking proverbial they. Everyone has them, right? Everyone has, like, this invisible army of they. Like, what will they think of me? Them. Like, and it's terrifying. Like, everyone has it. And I know, I mean, at least for me, and probably a lot of people, we also maybe spend too much time thinking about what that proverbial they, like, want from us, and, like, how can we give them that, and battling with, well, like, should I or shouldn't I? Like, what the fuck do you want from me? I'm like, what about what I want from me? And if you don't know, because I did have to Google it the first time I listened, like, propriety is basically just like, oh, you want me to be perfect, you want me to abide by a certain, like, set of standards and, like, socially accepted morals, like, you want me to be a certain way. And then, of course, long-suffering propriety. Like, if that's what they fucking want from me, this, like, thing that's making me suffer to, like, fit into those standards and those boxes, then they just don't know what kind of beautiful haunting I'm under because of you. You know? Like, the proverbial they is always gonna want stuff from you, no matter who you are and who they is to you. Like, if you know, are, like, soft and you care about, like, meeting people's expectations, like, you're inevitably going to reach a point where you're like, well, you don't know me, you're not me, like, you don't understand what my experience is like or why I would make the choices that I do, and, like, maybe I don't want to try and keep you happy anymore, maybe I want to live for myself. They don't know how you've haunted me so stunningly. I did the chord! Oh my god, okay, too excited. They don't know how you've haunted me so stunningly. I choose you and me religiously. What if he's no. So I love, even without too much like Bible lore under my belt, I think this is just such a clever reference. Like the whole like what if the way you hold me is actually what's holy, and then into I choose you and me religiously. Like I have goosebumps. I've had goosebumps this like whole fucking time. The fucking battle between like what I should do, what is quote unquote right, what do people want from me, and that like solo journey of figuring out what do you believe in, like what's right for you, like what do you want, you know, what do you choose at the end of the day. And for me, especially as someone who is like, oh my god, I'm so romantic, like I swear I have a brain, but like I tend to be very like pulled around by my heart. So the line, I choose you and me religiously, is exactly how diehard I feel in those situations. I'm like, nope, religiously, this. And then there's the iconic, what if he's written mine? Oh, my poor neighbors. On my upper thigh, only in my mind. I'm gonna cry. I love this song. Obviously, that part of the song sounds fucking incredible. Like, you know what? We're sticking to the like a holy theme, because I ascend at that part of the song. What if he's written? I've gone to heaven. And I think that's on purpose. I like to think that it's on purpose, that it's like such a like choir, it's such a big like, what if it, like, oh god, I don't have the words to explain this to you. I'm not a professional at this. I'm just a girl sitting on her fucking floor telling you how much I love Guilty as Sin and what I think about it. But I think that's such a powerful part of the song. Like after all of that and this like inner world sussing out about what you feel about it, to land at like, I choose you and me, and then right back into, but what if he's written mine on my upper thigh? Like, oh, it's a loop. It's a loop, and it's exactly what it feels like. Like I love when music sounds like what the feeling feels like. And this feels like naughty crush. This feels like guilt crush. It's so fucking hard. And I love that we end right back where we started. Like, what did I just say? It's a fucking loop. It's all like on loop up here. It ends with, he sent me downtown lights. I hadn't heard it in a while. Am I allowed to cry? Like right back to after all of that, like going through it in my own head, like maybe telling a friend, like sussing out like how you feel about it. Like we go right back to like, but am I allowed to feel this way? Am I allowed to cry? Like it also makes me think that this has all happened just in one fucking sitting. Like this is just a daily occurrence, right? When you have a crush, it's like loop right back to like, he sent me downtown lights. Like we're still just drowning in the Blue Nile. Maybe it's been like 10 minutes, but it feels like a fucking lifetime of just inner chaos and figuring it out and identity crisis. Who am I? How will the world see me? But oh my god, I really want you. Like, you know, like I think it's just, I mean, I don't think anything that Taylor does is unintentional. So I was about to say, like, it feels very intentional that we've ended up right where we started off. Like nothing has been resolved. Oh, goosebumps again, because it's all in my mind, right? Like loop, loop, loop. What if he's written on the other thigh? Like wheels turning. So anyway, I definitely didn't expect to sit here and in any way reference masturbation, but whatever, it's healthy and it's what I think. So anyway, that is what I think about Guilty as Sin. Those are the kind of things that it makes me see in my brain. There was a whole hair on my face. I hope you liked this. I would really, really love to know what this song makes you feel and think of and what visions it evokes for you. Truly, I love like how other people's perspectives on music can like open up my own. And I really hope that this is what this did for you in some way. So if you liked it, please give it a like. And if you want to see more of this, I'm so bad at this. Can you subscribe? Can you just do it right now? I'm like really bad at this prescribed outro shit, but like subscribe. And honestly, I had such a good time doing this, so I will definitely be doing it again. So if there's any song in particular, it doesn't have to be a Taylor song. I actually do listen to other music. Like, not as much, but I do. I have a few songs that I've like had top of mind to do this with. I've also thought about like doing, like if you like Taylor's music, here are some other songs you might enjoy that I could sort of do in this format. But yeah, let me know what other songs you would like for me to, you know, paint a real picture of from my brain for you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm gonna go listen to Guilty as Sin a lot now. And I hope I don't have any new thoughts because I have no idea what I just said. Should we do a little outro?